Good afternoon, investigators around Australia on social networking, including LinkedIn, Facebook and YouTube. Mike Evans and Casey Pyne here this week, Friday the 13th, with episode 234 of Spy Curious, the Australian Private, Corporate and Government Investigator Weekly News. How are you, Casey?
Yeah, fantastic. It's been a good week.
How did it start? What happened?
Just a bit more news this week. So flying down to Sydney to discuss my business with Channel 9, and they'll be putting out a feature of Quick Look next week, which is really exciting.
And that will be happening next Monday evening and advertised from Sunday night. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's something we'll look forward to on Channel 9 to see Casey Pyne. Do you know what the program is?
It's the 9 News, so they do features, and yeah, next week it'll be Quick Look.
Okay. On that important segue from Quick Look, in Queensland, as a result of coercive control throughout Queensland and it leading to murder of women in relationships, in Queensland is now an offence since last Wednesday. So coercive controllers, they've been warned, they've been told, don't do it. It's going to be an offence that will be gazetted and in effect from February 2024. This is really big news. So people who have been in relationships, we're talking about relationships here, not anything else. So in relationships with, and they've been coercive controlling finances, social media use, who their friends are, that sort of thing, that is now going to be an offence. There's also an offence now called stealthing. That means damaging a condom or basically taking a condom off during the process. So that's going to be a crime in Queensland too. So all these things have happened this week. It's just come out this week that they've approved it to go ahead. It's a great initiative. In the past, coercive controllers, narcissists have hired private investigators to follow, watch and videotape their partners or wives or girlfriends or mistresses or whatever they did. And as a result, hi Joy, how are you going? As a result, several ladies have died. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. I hope you enjoyed Investigations Journey today. It was great. Amber, great to see you. I hope you're well. G'day, Chantal. Great to see you. At a conference. All right, that's all right. You're allowed to go to a conference. Okay, so that's really big news, and it fits in with Casey's quick look business. So that's the news out of Queensland this week that's really important, and we just have to let everybody know, if you're a licensed private investigator and someone hires you to conduct surveillance regarding relationships and you go and do it and you get involved in that other person's activities, you're going to be vicariously liable. Think about that. Hey, g'day, Kelly. How you going, Kelly? Great to see you. Who did I miss, Casey? Well, I was ranting.
I think we've got everybody.
We got everybody. Great to see you.
Here today. It's fantastic.
Yeah, very late on a Friday afternoon in most states around the place. So thank you for your support, people. Really appreciate it. I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, so come back to where I'm supposed to be. So that's big news this week in Queensland. Some other news happening in Queensland this week. Better grab that. So lawyer in Brisbane has been charged with money laundering, Michael Bosscher, and his trial started on Monday and it was aborted on Tuesday. So basically everything happened. A jury member asked a question in regards to something in the court or pointed something out, and it was aborted. So they're selecting another jury and we'll be back to play again next Monday. So that's Michael Bosscher's money laundering trial in Brisbane. It's one of them. He's got a couple on. Okay, but that's the first one. New South Wales have also pointed out coercive control is starting to be an issue down there, and it's going to be a crime in New South Wales. Now, this comes from SLED. So the Security Licensing Enforcement Division have sent out in their newsletter this week that that's going to be a crime in New South Wales as well. So that's Queensland and New South Wales, and that's the actual article in the SLED newsletter, which you can see if you subscribe to SLED on Facebook, that sort of thing. Down in Melbourne, down in Sydney, Sarah at Quantum Corp is looking for a surveillance investigator, people. So get in touch with Sarah at Quantum Corp if you're looking for surveillance work down in Sydney. In Melbourne, in the news, Senior Constable Jess Burke has been charged with 11 offences, and he told his police officer partner that he was in some kind of secret police, section or something like that, and he coercively controlled her. Now, she thought she was bigger than this. She doesn't want to be a victim, and I don't blame her, but he was a very good narcissist, and she was convinced that he was right. So he told her to do a couple of things that involved nothing illegal, but she fell for it. So he's got 11 charges on that at the moment. This is really important. As a private investigator, you cannot tell. G'day, Chris. Good to see you, mate. Hope things are going well in Adelaide. As a private investigator, you cannot tell an unlicensed person to go and do something for you. Drive by a house and see if a car registration. You can't do that. You're going to be in as much trouble if you do that as this police officer who did that down in Melbourne. So he's in serious trouble down there, claiming that he was in some undercover branch and all that sort of. He's not one of the 600 undercover police officers in Victoria. He's just fantasizing. So that's what's happened down there. VMA people, they're looking for investigators, desktop investigators, work from home, work anywhere in Australia. Asha wants to hear from you. They've employed every Australian Security Academy student that applied for that position. They're a wonderful team up at VMA. Get in touch with them. We had this post go on our social networking last night. Now, there's quite a few issues here, and I want to point it out. You post something on social networking, you're really leaving yourself wide open to come under attack. And there are moderators of these pages, and I'm the moderator one who at 4 a.m. this morning thought that's going to lead to a whole lot of trouble. But I posted it in my social networking group, Private Investigator Australia. Now, the reason I did it, it raises an issue. 4 o'clock this morning, this post went up 8 hours before. That means very late in the evening. The person was tired. They made a spelling mistake. That's okay. That's fine. You're tired, you make a spelling mistake. Now, this is a good warning for you, the private investigator. You don't go and take statements off people when you're tired. You'll make mistakes. You don't go and do it constantly in the evening after your second job or something like that. It's ridiculous. You don't. So it really points out that when someone's tired, you make a mistake. So that's number one, and that's probably, quite a good thing. The second is she's looking for her brother and she's seeking advice. Now, it's an anonymous post. When an anonymous post comes through, the moderator of a Facebook group sees who they are. And the lady is a licensed private investigator. And she simply is tired and seeking help to find her brother. There's nothing wrong with that. She's seeking advice. Now, I was disappointed that she's got a license and done a course, and she hasn't had the opportunity that most of the people watching here today have had with Jenny and Casey and Pat and others throughout Investigations Uni on how to do searches and find people. From an industry point of view, I think that RTO where she studied let her down badly, and that's a second issue. So 2 issues were raised. 1, you don't go and do it when you're tired. 2, she was let down by not having that within her course, which I think is pretty, not that one, right? Which I thought was pretty rough. And she's simply looking for advice, asking for a private investigator. What course of action should I do? Nothing wrong with that. It's not a private investigator group. And I was pleased some people helped her. There were some people that go, this is, what are you doing anonymous posts and all that? The same person complaining about sent me a whole lot of anonymous posts last year. So yeah, private investigators, they're not real smart, some of them. All right. So I like to be inclusive with that sort of thing. And if someone asks an intelligent question that gives good examples, good on you, anonymous poster. And I hope you find your brother. And one day, if you do a course at the Australian Security Academy through this, you'll know how to do it. Nesreen, how are you? Great to see you. Thanks for checking in. Very late in New South Wales. So really appreciate you watching, people. So there's some of the things. Just before we come to Casey's update on OSINT, I've got to show you a jobs video because we've got some good jobs this week. This is real beauties here. Just take a minute to find them. Here we go. The team down at Massel Group are advertising for factual investigators for workers' compensation investigation at Massel, based in the CBD in the city. They're a great team at Massel, and they have employed every Australian security graduate that I've sent to them in the last 12 months. Good on you, Massel. And one of them actually features in our Australian Facebook jobs page in the photograph there. Scout Investigations in New South Wales, great team at Scout. Apply for this job. They're after licensed investigators in New South Wales, and that's got to be a factual investigator at Scout Investigations. Vendor Management, based in Brisbane, are looking for investigators for claims investigations all around Australia. This is a desktop job. You sit at home and do your work remotely, fully supported by Asher and the team at Vendor Management, who engage every Australian Security Academy student graduate who is licensed that goes there. Great team at Vendor Management. Quantum Corp, Sarah in charge there at Quantum Corp. She's the HR manager. On LinkedIn, they've advertised for a surveillance investigator in New South Wales. Good on you, Quantum Corp. Great team at Quantum Corp. I've done that one. Major incident investigations for the Australian Nuclear Science Technology Organisation. It's quite frightening, but we've had 5 students who have come to us over the years who have worked in this field and this industry and gone on to be government investigators. So this one's a great one. And I'm going to jump straight into the next one. But there's a bit of a gap in the middle of this because I lost it. So bear with me for 30 seconds, but this is it. Proactive investigators required by the Victorian Buildings Authority. G'day everyone at the VBA. We know you watch every week. It's great to see you. Hope you're having a great time down there in Victoria. Air Services. This is an opportunity of the year if you've got a certificate for in government investigation. Air Services Australia want factual investigator, all sorts of code of conduct stuff. They have had really bad culture over the years. It's been improved over the last 3 years, but they're monitoring it by conducting code of conduct investigations as they arise. Well done, Air Services. Great improvement. I've done the EPA. Workers' compensation investigator wanted by Brookside in New South Wales. And I think they were also looking for Victoria as well. So that was advertised on LinkedIn. Allied Universal, that's the mine manager. Allied Universal are looking for general insurance investigators to do video interviews in New South Wales. Proof Integrity Systems down in Victoria are seeking a licensed factual investigator. Now, this is a really good opportunity to work with some professionals in a real big variety of workers' compensation factual investigations. Get on to James. Google Proof Integrity Systems. Don't miss that opportunity to work with a great emerging investigation agency that is kicking goals and has now been established for over 10 years in Victoria. Well done, James, at Proof Integrity Systems and the team. Yeah, that was James at Proof Integrity Systems, people. Great guy, and he's looking for a factual investigator. Get in touch with him. Just ring him up and say, Google Proof Integrity Systems and get in touch with him and say, hey, James, I'm licensed, mate. I'll have a go at this. Here's James. Whoops. So that's what James looks like now. I was in Melbourne a couple of years ago, and James and I had just finished doing a training course. And we were walking down Little Bourke Street, and James gets surrounded by these really attractive, really slim, really well-dressed guys, and they start talking to him, and he's talking to them, and they're laughing and they're having fun. And these guys are dressed, they're not dressed in the airport DFO designer label leftovers from 3 years. They're dressed in what came out in Paris last week. And they got perfect shoes, they got perfect haircuts, and they're perfect bodies. And I'm thinking to myself, James is the straightest bloke I know. What's he doing with all these guys? And then it dawned on me, because I'm slow and I'm a stupid idiot. James was the chief steward for racing in Melbourne in Victoria, and these guys are all jockeys. So idiot me missed all the cues. And everywhere we turn a corner, go into another one, another group would come up and start talking to him. I've walked down streets in Melbourne with detectives that scare me, and they've scared other people as we walk down the bed. I've never had an experience like that. Joe's a great bloke, really, really good investigator, amazing trainer, great opportunity to go and work with James at Proof Integrity Systems. G'day, Nathan. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for checking in. Hey, Freddie. Good to see you, mate. Casey, it's your turn.
Oh, okay. I am going to do a live one this week. I haven't done it. Haven't done a live one in a while. So this is a question that I received from a student on LinkedIn this week. And they were asking, because I spoke about scraping data last week, and this week they're like, well, sometimes there's just so much information on the internet, even about a specific name. And I thought I might just give a little hint as to how to reduce some of that data this week. And make sure, feel free to email me your questions, because I have to come up with one of these things every single week. And if there is a question that you have, OSINT is awesome. If you have a question, ask me, because it helps, and I can answer it here on Spy Curious and help everybody. So that's so funny, Joe. Okay, so say you're looking for someone and you start off with your normal Google search. We'll just use me as an example. So your job is to investigate me and find any information you can possibly find about me on the internet. Oh, it's already come up, Casey Pyne Golf. So as you can see, it says Casey Pyne, founder of Quick Look. Yes, that's me. I am not a PGA champion. I would love to be, but my golf is not that good yet. So I know that that's definitely not me. There is heaps of stuff here about this man who is a PGA champion, and it's kind of, you can see that there's 8,900 results, and I'm not looking for him. You're not looking for him. You're looking for me. And so to get rid of some of that information so that you don't have to filter through it all, you can ask Google to get rid of anything that has specific words in it. So you put your minus sign and then you type in golf. And we don't want PGA, I've never been anything to do with the PGA. So we might just put in minus PGA as well. So that's 8,900 results. Let's see how much it brings it down to. So now it's brought it down to 2,440 results. Well, let's scroll through them quickly. Yes, that's me on LinkedIn. It's me on TikTok, Instagram. It's my website, YouTube, news, Australian Security Academy, Twitter, Tweaktown. That goes back. It's when I used to write for a online tech company. Pinterest. Gosh, there's just so much here, and it's all me. There's nothing to do with, Crypto Talk was me as well. I was a host of a podcast many, many moons ago. Courier City Warriors, I train basketball, so that's me as well. PRG Plumbing Services. I've left a review on their website. There is so much information here about me. And just by removing those couple of keywords, it went from 8,000 down to 2,000 hits, which really filtered out a lot of the noise. And then we can scrape all of these and put them in a document, and it's so much cleaner, so much quicker. And I also wanted to talk about something else, because as you can see, when it comes up with my TikTok or my Instagram, in the brackets, it has usernames. So never, ever underestimate the power of a username. So what's my name .app is by OSINT Combine, which is the Australian OSINT place to go to. I've done their courses of OSINT, and they have the big conference every year for OSINT in Australia, a fantastic team, and they've got this amazing What's My Name app. So if we go back here, and we can see Quick Look Oz. It's like, well, I wonder where else that is used. So you'd go here, Quick Look Oz. Maybe there's some accounts that haven't come up that we can't see there. So we just type it in here, hit the search button. And as you can see, it's going through 584 APIs, I guess, that they have installed there that they're going to search through. There's the TikTok, there's the Twitter. So, and you can see stuff underneath, which also brings up information that is, so they'll just search it on Google. So you can see the Lincoln Lewis catfishing talk that I did. And it brings up the links. So it's a really great way. If you have a username, what's my name.app, fantastic place to search for other places that that person might use that username. And obviously, don't forget your minuses when it comes to searching for names. So it's a really, really great way to filter out a lot of the noise and get the person you're after.
That is a pretty good tip. What do you call that? Filtering.
Sorry. Oh, the Google dorking. Oh, it's just, filtering. So putting the minuses is, it gets rid of those specific keywords. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're looking for someone that's prolific, Donald Trump, I don't know, a movie star, something like that, or whatever it is, that's how you reduce it down. So great. So anyway, as I was explaining how stupid I was not picking up on cues that these guys were just fit because they were Melbourne Cup riding jockeys. You got to call in.
What? That's pretty dark for a Friday.
Oh, I love my job. Fantastic. Thanks.
Thanks, Joy.
They really are. They're great. It really is. So people, if you're an Australian Security Academy graduate student, you have the right to be going to this. And today we had common law discovery, which was over and above common law particulars of negligence, which we've previously done in there, common law questions that they ask the employer, and common law questions in relation to the witnesses. That's all in that program, which is a full, just in those 5 1-hour sessions that you have access to replay on demand. That's a course in itself that's going to earn you a lot of money as a licensed private investigator in Australia for free. I was asked a question this week: can a non-Australian Security Academy student join that industry association, which is part of our AirLap and part of our whole system, ecosystem of training, learning and student support? No, they can't. It's for Australian Security Academy students only. If you're looking for an industry association that's free like that, go back to your RTO where you did your course and get them to join theirs. Because if they're a decent RTO, they have student support with job vacancies, OSINT tips, ongoing professional development, CPD, and you can ask for that. All right. So update on what we did with New South Wales SLED, where we asked them, can private investigators get an exemption from wearing their license as ID while they're on surveillance? We still haven't heard. And as I have pointed out We wrote to the Chief Commissioner of Police in New South Wales about that. Very busy person. That person has got coercive control, rapes, murders, terrorism, unions, politicians, all this sort of thing to deal with all day, every day. And I'm not going to be a priority on what I'm asking for. But we've put it in writing, not in an email, sent it to them, and we're waiting on, and as soon as I get an answer on that, I'll share that with you. We are closed during the Christmas period, people. There's dates there, Wednesday, the 20th of December to Monday, the 8th of January. So get as much stuff into Pat Flynn now as you possibly can for feedback and finish your qualification before the end of the year. Pat's looking forward to marking his stuff and then having a holiday. A lot of people raise concerns. I'm just an emerging investigator. Am I going to make it? Yes, you are. If you're an Australian Security Academy student, you're properly trained, and I'll introduce you to employers. And some people really get overly worked up about it, and they go, oh, yeah, but there's all these ex-detectives and barristers and all this out there, and I'm never going to be as good as them. My warning to you people is never, ever compare your beginning to someone else's middle. We all had to start somewhere once. That goes to everything you ever do, sport, a career, whatever, okay? Don't start comparing yourself to someone's middle. You will be onboarded, you will be supported in this industry, and you'll be helped into it, because if they help you at the investigation agency, they succeed too. And the biggest complaint I get from employers is, if we could get another 4 investigators, we could add another $20,000 a week to our turnover, and we'd be much more successful and we could grow exponentially. But they can't do that because people are afraid of applying. Don't be afraid to apply, people. If you're an Australian Security Academy student, confidently apply with investigation agencies. Ask me who you should go to. I had another question this week about desktop investigations, and I've had this a couple of times this year, and really, I've got to be frank. Locating people and doing locates is only one part of it. What happens is investigation agencies will engage someone to do that, and the person will work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and go flat out for the first 2 weeks. Invoices paid on time, they're working flat out, it's really successful. Then they start to slacken off, not get stuff in on time, and then they've got to find someone else. And it's just a rotating cycle. It's not a lot of fun. So yes, do it, but don't rely on just locates. Be prepared to do webinar interviews like we showed you that Allied Universal just advertised for. You saw that in the video, okay? Be prepared to do that. Be prepared to go out and interview people or take statements online. It's a whole combination of success process. You rely on any one thing, you're like that, what I talked about last week. Yeah, it's just a parked car. You want to keep momentum up and keep moving. So that is really important. I can't wait to see Casey's show on Monday night in relation to the publicity she's got for Quick Look. And it's a pure example right there of creating that momentum and keeping it going. Other people have asked me, well, where do I do a marketing course, or what should I do? All Casey's marketing tips, people, they're all on our YouTube channel. They've been there for 2 years, right? Good on you, Amanda. Yeah, my word. Yeah, good on you. And the great thing about it, if you do that diversity of locating people, interviewing people, desktop investigations, a little bit of surveillance, good fun, best fun you'll ever have.
That's awesome.
Good on you, Nathan. Mate, they need you more than you need them, trust me. So good on you. That's just great. So use that mix. You do it in other occupations. In retail, you made displays, you did customer service, sales. You always meet teachers. They mix up what they do. It's what maintains their interest.
Hi, Evan. The measures have come through in code.
I'm not doing this anymore. That's it. That's my last. That's episode 234 of the last one. They're not taking me seriously. I'm going to take my microphone. Go home. Good on you, Evan. Great to see you, mate. Great. Hope things are going well in sunny Adelaide. All right. Covered everything. Make sure I've got everything. Yep. I think we've covered absolutely everything for this week, Casey. That was an amazing tip.
Yeah.
I'm going to utilize that this afternoon. Actually, I've got an investigation I've got to do that's on that scale of just it's too many, too big.
It's amazing how many OSINT investigations I've done where the person that I'm looking into has the same name as a B-lister or C-lister movie star, and there's just so many things about them, and just to remove like movies and things like that, it just makes such a difference.
Yeah, well, look, we've only ever had one Evan Frangos student, but we have had about 7 John Lennon students. We've only ever had one Freddie Lewis student.
Oh, good.
Freddie enjoying getting a little bit cozy. All right. So people, thank you very much for watching. Casey, thank you for coming in. Yeah, always. It's 3 new things every day is an absolute guarantee in an investigation profession. Look, seriously, I'd never been to a horse race. I'd never been to a dog show. I'd never been to a whole lot of different factories and so on. I've been to a lot of interesting things now, and I've found out some interesting things that probably I'll never ever use. But you think, wow, that's how that works. And we saw some examples of some fraud try-ons today over in investigations uni that were put up by lawyers that actually investigated it. And you think, wow, that's a little bit of a new angle, chucking in the psychological injury on top of the physical injury. That's been quite common for a while now, but you really get some interesting aspects that always keep you on your toes. Like I said before, if you're tired, rest up, take a night off. Don't, because you'll miss things, you'll make mistakes. You'll miss that last question. Is there anything else you can add? Okay, so always prepare to go. Now, I have taken a statement at 1 o'clock in the morning. The reason I had to do that, it was a work-related matter. It was a security guard. He worked at night. He wouldn't see me any other time. He was a night shift worker, and I really needed it. So it was up to me to be a little bit flexible. Once in 27 years, once, right? All the rest of the time, everybody was quite pleasant about the timing of those statement taking. So I didn't have to worry about being tired. It's just some important things that come out today in relation to some of those things. And I've been pretty pleased with the way people have handled them throughout the day today. Casey, thanks very much. We'll catch up with you later on. Stick around. I've got to ask you for one favour. Don't go away. Thanks, people. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
See you, everyone. Have a great week.
작전 종료. 전원 복귀할 것.
That's it, people. See you next week. Now, my favour for Casey. Queenstown. We're still on, so be careful what you say, okay?
Yeah, I'm like, we're still live, okay?
Yeah, just stay there, stay with me, all right? Okay. I've been entering a fun competition there for their Unconformity, which is their arts show.
Yeah.
All right. So it's just they've got a logo, and basically you do a short 3-minute, 1-minute video with their logo on it, and during the broadcast of it, of whatever they do, it's going out all around the world. And the gravel over your video of you in the disco and the drone chasing it is there. You lost in the wilderness at the sand dunes is in it. Okay. All right. So it's just been played at the movie theatre and broadcast on the radio. Okay. So right now we're going to do another one. You and me with our logo. Okay. It's called UNTV. So I'm going to record it.
Okay.
What's recording, and then I'm going to put the logo up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want you to say, "G'day, everybody in Queenstown," from two people that spent every school holidays in Queenstown.
Okay.
Can you do that? But you've got to smile. All right.
Yeah.
So this is going to be their international spies who spent every school holidays in Queenstown for a 30-second UNTV, and the logo will appear over the top of it. Okay.
Okay.
When you can, go.
Hello, everybody, from two people that spent every school holidays in Queenstown, Tasmania.
Perfect. Very good.
Gosh.
Thank you. So I'll do that up and I'll send it off to them. So with all their art shows and their events they're having, like I remember who we met at Easter, Ian.
Yes.
There is a cultural dancing event in his sawmill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty good of you.
Yeah.
So we're going to be part of it, and we're going to be up on the big screen in the background of people clog dancing.
Oh, God.